Hello and welcome back to a unscheduled Marvel Champions, I guess, live stream. I'm here with Villain Theory. How you doing, Villain?
I'm doing really good. And full confession, I actually just took a look at this myself, so my reactions aren't going to be as fresh. So I'm going to let Nelson take the lead here, and I will chime in afterwards, I think.
Yeah, and I have not looked at it. I got the notification, hey, there's a new box, and here we are. So it's going to be pretty exciting to go through this with somebody who knows what's happening and someone who is seeing this for the very first time. So pretty excited. We got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was announced at Gen Con of this year. I almost said this last year, and that I think speaks more to how time feels these days. But it was announced this year with a little bit of teaser. Now we have the official article for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is a new big box coming from Marvel Champions. So we also kind of threw this together last second, so if audio or anything sounds weird, just let me know and I'll fix it. I'm actually on my computer, so I get to do that. But, okay, before we dive in, Villain, you have taken a look at this article. Anything that you want to say before we start looking through and going through some of the new stuff?
There's lots I want to say, but it's all confidential. It's redacted.
Okay, well, there you go. Perfect. Awesome. So, Marvel Champions Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and again, I have not seen this at all, but Fantasy Flight Games is proud to announce Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The 8th that's insane. 8 campaigns is kind of intense. That's a lot of campaigns. Do you think you could name them all? No, I'm just kidding. So it takes us away from the flashy final battles of Avenger-level threats and instead focuses on the efforts of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hey, Winning Hand. I love how quickly you guys are on this. Yeah, usually we record on Thursdays, and we weren't today, but I'm glad that FFG posted this because I was getting a little lonely not being able to not seeing Villain today. So it worked out. It worked out. FFG's got our back. And welcome, Winning Hand. Including a traitor within their own agency. Oh, okay. So is this like a hidden or a deduction type thing? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes with 5 brand new scenarios. And just like all other campaign expansions, you can play each one of them individually. Yeah. This box also kicks off a new wave of playable heroes for the game, beginning with Maria Hill and Nick Fury. So I think we pretty much knew that Nick Fury was coming to us. Nick Fury was going to be one of them. And I think everyone kind of speculated that we were going to see Maria, right?
Yeah, it was a common theory, I'd say. A lot of people wondered if it would be Quake. That was like the next most common one I saw.
That's fair, because I could see Maria selling her own pack. Just like thinking, if you want another to join, let me know. Ooh, how could we do that? How could we do that? I think, yeah, that's going to be... We'll probably do more content, Winning Hand. I'll definitely hit you up for that, but I'm not 100% sure how to do that real quick to set somebody up. I'm always down. Sounds good. So today we're putting out a first look at the scenario for the expansion. We'll go over the heroes in the near future. So no hero stuff?
Yeah, so I didn't read that bit.
Oh, that's too bad. Oh, well, but
yeah.
Okay, but it does sound like we're going to get like kind of a full-fledged article on the encounters, which, cool. Okay, that's cool.
It is. I'm excited for you to see them.
Okay. So we got Black Widow as a villain. Interesting. Modok. We kind of knew Modok. That was in all of the good stuff. We do get the silhouettes for the wave. Oh, okay, cool. Some basic info about the box heroes. Nice. Cool. Thunderbolt backup. A plot unfolds. The story of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. begins with a mystery. A string of inhuman kidnappings that have been plaguing the country. And Sarah Garza, a S.H.I.E.L.D. computer specialist, is the latest victim. Super scientist at AIM. Okay, so we also talked about how we thought we were going to know AIM was going to be in there. Maria Hill suspects a rat in S.H.I.E.L.D. Executive boards may be involved in all. Yelena Boulevard. I'm so bad at pronunciation. Known as
Me
the Black
too.
Widow. Is this the character from the Black Widow movie? Is this? Okay, cool. I just have to level set. I have to get everything kind of in my mind. So we got Black Widow. Yes. Okay. Sweet. Thank you. So this is our first villain. Hit points of 13. That's very, very low. Seems like it. Black Widow's sister. Okay. Yeah. That's kind of cool. Okay, so she's a villain. Winning hand is pronounced Helena Bolova. Thank you. Just typing. I love that. That's amazing. Okay, so 2 scheme, 1 attack. Now this is just stage 1. And so 13 hit points, pretty low stats. Force interrupt. When a character you control attacks, Black Widow, remove 1 threat from the main scheme, ignoring any crisis icons. Discard the top card of the encounter deck and resolve each preparation ability on that card. Black Widow against Black Widow. Rules be damned. I play multiverse rules in my house. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. You're removing threat from the main scheme when you attack Black Widow. I think we should probably look at the main scheme to kind of get a better idea of why or how that is good or bad.
I don't think they show the main scheme, but they talk about it. And if you want to skip to that bit, it's the last sentence on here.
Okay. Fortunately, Black Widow's ability only triggers when there is threat for her to remove, which means if you keep the main scheme clear, you should be safe to focus your attacks on her and bring the spy down. Yeah, it's not Natasha, so there's no... Yeah, that's true. Black Widow versus Black Widow. They are 2 different named heroes, or characters. So Widow's ability only triggers when there is threat on the main. So it sounds like it may be like a Collector 2 type situation where you want threat on the main. I don't know.
I think you don't want threat on the main. I think if the threat is 0, then her forced interrupt is basically blank, is what it's trying to communicate.
Okay.
So, low threat good.
Oh, I see. Okay. I just completely missed the cost arrow here. So I just you attack her, you get to remove threat. That seems like a good deal, but it does sound like there are going to be a lot of preparation cards, which makes a lot of sense from S.H.I.E.L.D. And I guess we're going to probably see some more preparation cards. That's cool. Can be triggered. That means attacking her while there's threat on the main scheme comes at some serious risk. Okay, that's an interesting way to do that. Removing one threat is part of the cost. Yes, thank you, Jared. Okay, I need more caffeine. That's what I need. At best, an aim. Oh yeah, what's up?
I was gonna say I'm gonna spoil that. I like the next 3 cards we're looking at. I think they're very cool.
Okay, so aim grunt. So guard 1/1/5. Oh, and this is a preparation.
Yeah.
That's neat. Okay, so preparation. Everyone unpacking their global logistics. Yes. Put this minion into play engaged with you. Then resolve its attack against aim. Then resolve this attack against aim, grunt, and set. Oh, so it hops in front of the attack.
Yeah, I think that's really, really cool. And it's got guard otherwise, so even if it, comes up as it's just really, really interesting. I really like this.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's okay, so this is saying that resolve each preparation ability on that card. So every single preparation card in here can happen. So if you attack, there's threat. This aim grunt can come in and hop in front of the attack.
Yes.
Okay. It's all coming together. 5 health. This reminds me, I just played a game against Sinister 6 the other day with the gorilla, or the life-size decoy. I hate those things, and this reminds me of those life-size decoys. So that's really cool. Interesting. And it looks like we have 23 cards in Black Widow. The next one I assume is another one of our preparation. Stun net. Oof. Attached to your identity, attached character cannot attack. We can exhaust a character we control to discard this card. Any player may trigger this ability. This is a preparation. After this attack, attach this to the attacking character. Okay. So this could be another one that pops out. This is an item traded card, so Jubilee going to go shopping for Okay, so exhaust a character you control to discard this card. What are your thoughts around this one?
I like this one. So what I noticed when I looked at this is it says attached to your identity. That happens when you reveal it, but as a preparation, it's attached to the character. So if my ally attacks it, it can get stunned from the stun net from the preparation, but it won't if it's revealed, if that makes sense. So I feel that's quite elegant design. It will go in a different place potentially depending on different circumstance.
And it makes a lot of thematic sense as well to hop and like, you know, throw the stun net at the attacking character. Or if you
Yeah.
just kind of pick it up, it, you know, goes towards probably the biggest threat on the table, which would be your identity. That's interesting.
Mm.
It seems like a pretty low cost to get rid of. You exhaust a character you control, so I'm thinking you know throw in some of those like pretty cheap allies and just kind of exhaust them and be okay with it. But you do
Yeah.
lose out on maybe a thwart or a damage to get rid of
Eh.
it.
It's reminiscent of the military grade modular sets inhibitor color, which again you just exhaust a character and it goes away.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that is, and it does say preparation ability. Okay. So, and then so that's an attachment. We have a minion, and then we have a treachery. So attack acrobatics. Oh, we know this card. We know
Oh,
this
yeah.
card.
This
When
card's
revealed.
crazy.
Oh dang it! I like it when player cards are crazy. I don't know if I love it when encounter cards are crazy.
This
So
one is doing a lot.
okay, when revealed, if you are in alter ego form, change to hero form. If Black Widow attacks you, oh, give her an additional. Jeez,
Yeah.
holy cow!
Surprise.
Why? Why would they print that card? That's so mean. The
On standard,
preparation. Oh no,
She
go
does
for
only
it.
have one attack. I was gonna say she only has one attack on standard, so I mean it's not super scary, but that is very scary.
This also has 3 boost cards,
Oh yeah.
which kind of makes it fun for an attack acrobatics cancel. Like if you're playing
True.
Widow against Widow, like attack acrobatics, you're gonna cancel the boost icons and deal that amount of damage. And so like 3, like I think that's pretty fun. When you're in alter ego form, change to hero form. That's so mean, especially with how much like alter ego stuff. And I assume that with the shield wave, we're gonna see a little bit more alter ego support, kind of being the spy and maybe being able to do more things in alter ego. We've seen that with like Gambit being his thief. Those that kind of want to be low profile. I could see this actually being really detrimental to some of our spy characters.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be really interesting. I'm excited. It's a fun card, but very scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Greg. Hey, Gorismo. Gorismo, the preparation. So Black Widow, which is, I assume, did we talk about this? Yeah, the first obstacle. So this is going to be the first
Yeah.
villain in our box. When a character attacks Black Widow, we remove a threat, and then we're going to discard the top card and resolve the preparation. So it's like kind of like a boost effect. Not really. It's kind of like your own negative boost effect. But speaking of the preparation, I assume this is going to be great. Prevent all damage from this attack. Bummer. In expert mode, oh my gosh, can you imagine? Oh, and also, this reminds me exactly of Sinister Six, where in expert mode, you get something worse. Oh my gosh. Okay, in expert mode, deal that much damage to the attacking character. That is brutal.
My first thought was swinging web kick's gonna really hurt my own face here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So they're put into play under your control. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh geez. Okay. So yeah, you really don't want to be taking big swings if you don't know where the attack acrobatics are. But
Yep.
again, we can keep that main clear and we don't have to deal with the preparation. Imagine dive bombing into home technique dive bombing. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Even Hulk would be bad. And she's the first villain. Yeah. I do think that there's a lot of interesting interactions here because this is a huge threat and it can be something that you're going to have to manage. But on the other hand, you can play it very safe. Keep that main clear and you don't have to worry about this because removing that threat from the main scheme is a cost in order to trigger this preparation. That being said, that seems mean. It seems
very
so
mean.
Playing Shield Justice, yeah, Gurismo, yeah, the global logistics, figuring out Gambit ally. Also, dude, have you gotten Nightcrawler yet?
I have not. His teleporting is malfunctioning. He's not appeared here yet, but hopefully he's on the way soon.
Hopefully soon. I can't wait to talk to you about the Gambit ally. I think the Gambit ally is fun, but basically things that are going to allow you to see what is coming can also very much help you manage not taking 11 damage to the face from a home technique dive bomb. Oh my gosh. Okay. That Black Widow is Yelena. They don't use her title, so you can play against her. So no Nebula versus Nebula conflicts. Yeah. Plus they have different hair colors, so I think you should be fine. Okay. So is this everything that we've seen for? Yeah. Okay. So that's everything
Yep.
we see for Black Widow. I think that this is a really interesting design. What are you a fan of this?
I'm a huge fan of this. It's interesting that it sounds like Expert is going to be a huge step up, which is fitting with. I think this is designed by Tony, who did Next Evolution, which was a similar case there. But yeah, I really like that there are encounter cards which get worse on Expert, not just the villain. So that's exciting to me. The preparation thing is so interesting. Just keep that main scheme down, or swinging web kick your own face is the risk. I mean, what a design!
Yeah, yeah. And it does feel like, Shield can be a very calculated organization. And so like kind of managing everything that goes into it and, big risk, big reward. But I can see someone going in there. It's like, okay, like if we flip attack acrobatics, we lose. If we don't, we win, and just going for it.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that totally.
Nice. Okay, so next up we have Batroc. I don't know Batroc. Do you know Batroc?
I called him Batroc, but I don't know if that's
Batroc?
correct either. He looks like a cross between, like, I don't know, Robin Hood and a ninja to me. uh, but I like what I read after this and all about this, so I'm really excited for you to get into it.
He's from the Captain America 2 movie.
Ooh.
I don't remember that at all. Cap fights him on the boar at the start.
Oh, him. Well, he looks different here.
Captain America Winter Soldier opening fight. Okay. Okay. The Silver Age villain. Boat. That makes a lot more sense. I was like, I don't remember a fight on a boar at all.
That was a deleted scene.
Okay, yeah. Okay, the first guy on the boat. Okay. He's French. VillainTheory has the right pronunciation. Can you say it one more time for me?
Batroc.
Batroc. Okay, that sounds way cooler than Batroc.
It's a Batman spinoff.
Yeah, right. He's a French martial artist. Okay, so here, and this is an A. This is an A-sided villain, not a stage 1, 2, 3. So I'm assuming this is probably going to be another multi-villain scenario here.
Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? I do like that they have kind of figured out the multi-villain scenarios. It feels like the last couple have been really, really solid.
I'm gonna spoil it very slightly.
Yeah.
You might need to think more along the lines of Modok.
Oh, okay. I love that. Okay. So after Batroc attacks, place one threat on alert level. He's a 1/2. Only 8 hit points. When he would be defeated, alrighty. Set his hit points to 8, then remove 6 threat from the main scheme. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we are talking about alert level. Let's take a look at that. So the alert level is an environment. If there are at least 4 threat per player here, remove all threat and flip the card. After a character is defeated, except by consequential damage, place 1 threat here. Nice. I do like the continued de-incentivation, is that even a word, of chump blocking, right? Like, it's not just saying overkill, it's not just saying all of this, but you can still do it. It comes at a cost, and I like that for the design and the health of the game. So that's cool.
Yeah, I really like this. And it actually says after a character, so that goes for heroes, but also minions and anything. It's gonna up the alert level. So,
Interesting. Okay,
yeah.
so and thematically that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
So after a character, so that would be minion. Oh, geez, that's brutal. Spend 1 resource of any type to remove a threat from here. So you can't just thwart it because it's not a scheme. You have to be spending resources to remove threat. Gross.
Yeah, I think this is really interesting because I think you're probably more incentivized to avoid putting the counters here in the first place than have to try and shovel off the threat afterwards. But yeah, you'll probably see more about that as we go through these cards. It's very cool stuff, like combining with the alert level here.
Okay. The island embassy where you have to sneak in and get the intel you need without raising. I'm not going to be able to not call him Batroc now that we've gone down that rabbit hole. It's just not going to happen. Simply defeating him will not be enough to achieve your goals. After all, you're here to rescue people, and the scenario mechanics reflect that. His hit points don't scale to player count. Did not catch that. So just 8 hit points. But defeating him would simply reset him back. But because this is a forced interrupt to when he would be defeated, it does not trigger the alert level, if I am understanding that correctly, because he's not technically defeated because the interrupt
Yes.
takes precedence over here. Okay, so you can knock out him, but not yeah, I just can't do it. Uh since he keeps getting back up each time you get down, your goal is to clear enough threat off the main scheme. Okay, so kind of similar to Collector 2. This stage is completed. Players lose the game. When the last third is removed, advance to 2A. That's awesome. I'm really glad that they're bringing back that mechanic. Batroc, let's
Yep.
go, boom guy. Yes. Yeah, no, I think that's a amazing mechanic because it's very Lord of the Rings. If you've ever played Lord of the Rings, it is kind of that idea where you're progressing through the main stages rather than trying to prevent them from being completed. It's kind of a flip on its head. And I like it because it is completely different than anything else we've seen. And so you're able to kind of play the game and build a game, and it gives a different like output on the encounter. I am kind of surprised it's a scenario 2. Typically I think of some of that trickery coming in like later in the campaign, but I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
Interesting. It's very similar to Collector 2, which I think was the third scenario. So it's they've done it a little bit near here, but it is interesting. It's really interesting how this works. So like in my mind, it's like they want you to sneak around. He adds a alert level up when he attacks you. So like going alter ego is kind of incentivized here, which is really interesting with how
Hmm.
they punish you with attack acrobatics going alter ego in the previous scenario.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Okay. So I assume we're gonna have. I assume it will tell us. Your goal is to clear enough threat on the main scheme to advance to the next stage. Do that enough times, rescue enough captives of S.H.I.E.L.D, and you'll win. So I don't think it tells us how many levels. Collector 2 is 3 levels, which feels
Yeah,
about right. I could see them going. I don't want it to be 2, but I could see them going to 4 potentially.
maybe.
I think any more than that would be a little much. Charisma with the bat and the rock emojis. I love it. Very similar to DC deck building Crisis and Rebirth. May as well combine and copy what is fun. Oh yeah, 100%. So rescue enough captives. What is this villain? Tell me about rescue captives.
This is a woman hitting someone in the head with a fire extinguisher, which is amazing art, which I really like. Um, this is kind of like Morlock from Morlock Siege, in my opinion. Doesn't count towards your ally limit. Has 5 hit points, 1 attack, 1 falling, and you can exhaust it to remove 1 threat per person from the main scheme. So it scales up in multiplayer to remove threat, which is a really interesting kind of mechanic. So I think the more of them you rescue, the faster you'll start to get through those the main schemes.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And you can attack and you can thwart. Victory -1, which I still think is funny. Like that they put numbers on the victory cards.
One
'Cause
day it'll mean
outside of-
something.
Yeah, GMW means something. So it's not a campaign card, which is cool. Okay, so this is just kind of part of the scenario for Batroc. And it looks like the Sarah is that Sarah in the rescue captive art, who is an inhuman.
I
Interesting.
don't think that's her, but I think that's just a fire extinguisher wielder. You know, one of the many.
um. So and it is 1 threat per player. It is 1 threat per player, which I think is really interesting. Because she also can thwart 1. But I guess the thwart is a little bit more flexible. You can take that onto any scheme, not just the main.
Yeah.
Oh no, the next art. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, interesting. So yeah, I wonder if they're all like this, or if maybe they have different rescued actions, like Taskmaster or Project Wide Awake. Maybe they can be a little different.
I'm gonna guess not because they're not named, but maybe.
Yeah. Alert level. Certainly cards like the Embassy Guard. Embassy Guard is chilling.
Yeah.
Dude is
And it's
asleep on the job.
such a good card as well.
Okay, so this is a minion, 1, 2, 3 minion, guard vulnerable. So this is a new keyword.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Discard this character if it is stunned or confused. I like that. I like
It's
that.
really cool.
Yeah. No, I really like it. I'm a little caught up on it being called vulnerable. I don't know if I love that from like that doesn't click with me quite yet, but that's really cool. That's going to be an interesting keyword because that can also go on allies.
Yeah, true.
Interesting. Okay. Can't wait for them to put that on an ally. Vulnerable is a cool keyword. Um how okay, so I see Jubilee really liking this, right? With her
Yeah.
flash of or whatever her card is where she can stun and confuse everything. The my other thought here is villain, you being the math person, when you're looking at like 3 damage versus a stun or versus a confuse, is that a comparable trade in terms of like the effective cost of those?
Yeah, I mean, if I was being really like exact about it, maybe it is missing one damage that I would really like it to deal. But a lot of the time, I would be happy with that. And there is extra benefit on this card, so it's not like you can damage it or stun and confuse to discard it. If you read the rest of the card, the vulnerable bypasses something bad, which is really really cool here.
Yeah, it gets rid of guard. We have chat talking about how Professor X can just take him out with stunning a minion.
That's
Professor X
true.
just take him out. Um, sorry, what's up?
I was gonna say that's kind of the theme, though. I think like instead of like defeating them, you're like stunning them, knocking them out of the way. So Professor X could like mind control them away or something like that. I think that makes perfect sense. I think it's very cool.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Professor X just runs over him. Boom guy. I love how reading vulnerable just made Nelson reboot for a few seconds. I had to change the outlook on the game. Okay, so I haven't even read the rest of this card, but that makes me really excited. I do love that we are still adding keywords to the game. Um, that's interesting. It's interesting. I think that's a really cool design. I feel like they should change to susceptible, vulnerable to susceptible. It says David or something similar. I'm not sold on the term vulnerable. That's fair. That's fair. If alert level is on its high side, this card gains surge. And let's take a look at alert level. It's going to flip when there's 4 threat. That that kind of feels like it's going to be fairly easy to flip.
Maybe, especially if
Maybe.
you're an expert and you get like surging from under fire and things, you might get through it faster.
True. True. Feel like Miles is gonna be good. Yeah, Miles is gonna like this.
Oh, he's gonna destroy these people.
Um, oh, and yeah, and there are also a lot of allies that stun and confuse that can be see more play now, like Eros and
Oh
what's
yeah, like
the
Banshee.
Banshee? Banshee is the one
Uh,
who confuses when you
Iceman.
thwart. Iceman? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Iceman's gonna be insane. Come in. Nope. Delete. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Alrighty. Okay.
Really good.
And then when defeated, place 1 threat on alert level. So if I understand this correctly, when you defeat Embassy Guard, you place 2 threat on alert level because it's a character being defeated
Yes.
and the when defeated ability. Oof.
Yes. But
Oof.
that is also why vulnerable is so good because you discard it rather than defeat it.
Beautiful. Okay. Sick. Oh, I'm here for it.
So you
Psylocke
knock it out
Iron Fist.
quietly,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah,
Oh, yeah, because he's asleep. I also
yeah.
like how it looks like you have like shield agents kind of sneaking around on the computer. It's just not
I didn't
there.
notice that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, and then Siren, who stuns minions, which
Yes.
is I think a character that maybe I've put in one deck. I really don't. I I've kind of always been on team. No, no, it's just kill the minion.
Yeah. This is gonna be really fun for this.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to see that keyword here. That's really cool.
It is funny to me that a character called Siren will be good at this like stealth thing, like taking it quietly because there's a thing being loud.
Craig says Spider Girl. Yes, Spider Girl. And
Very
that's
good.
a 2 cost ally right there. So 2 cost ally, delete a minion that has guard, opening yourself up to kind of a full-fledged attack. That's cool. Oh my gosh. Vulnerable keyword discarded, not the same as defeated. Thank you for calling that out for people like me who needs villain theory or this article to tell them that. Means no threat gets added to the alert level, and that also means that. Yep. Okay. So it's 2 or 0.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. So you can also look at it as saving you 2 resources to stun, and at that point, the cost efficiency of stunning the minion is more so than the 3 damage it would take to take them out.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Cool. Okay, so scenario 2 looks pretty interesting. I feel like there's not a ton here. I feel like this part of the article is really talking about the vulnerable keyword and not as much about the scenario. We've seen the main scheme. It is kind of a collector 2 situation where we're going to be pushing through. But yeah, what do you think about scenario 2?
When I first saw Batroc or Batroc, I was like, who is this? I'm not that excited for it, and I read for it, and the idea of like sneaking around, not getting the alert level up, appeals to me so much. I really like that kind of theme in different things, shows, stealth games and things. So that's really exciting to me. I think they could do a lot that's quite interesting, different ways to like put the alert level on or bring it down. That could be really thematic. So very excited for this one. I like what I've seen. Would like to see more.
Yeah, I think in true solo, 8 damage for 6 threat removal seems pretty decent.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you're swinging web kick to to remove 6 threat.
It doesn't scale up his health either, so it will be just as good in multiplayer, really. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I think I was thinking about it from the standpoint where on the main scheme you're starting with 6 threat versus 12. So like if you defeat him, you're going down to 6 threat in a 2-player game. Whereas if you open up with a swinging web kick, you immediately progress to stage 2 in a true solo game.
Yeah. I wonder if anything bad happens if you do that too quickly. That's pretty interesting.
Well, like in Collector 2, you want to get to that stage 2 because then, I mean, Collector gets a little bit stronger, but then you have the Milano that you can play with. And I assume this is gonna be how you're gonna get those captive allies.
Yeah, probably.
Another great Tony Box is putting himself in the GOAT designer conversation. Heard that. Mojo, Next Evolution, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's coming on strong. He really is. I mean, like, I've loved everything Tony has done. But let's take a look at Modok.
Yes.
Dude, Modok's aesthetic creeps me out. I can't. Is it me or is this a major step backwards theme-wide? S.H.I.E.L.D? Interesting. Okay. Chad, what do you think about that, villain? Do you think that this is a major? I have my thoughts. I think I've talked about my thoughts, but I'm curious to hear what you think. You okay with the S.H.I.E.L.D box?
It depends what you mean by like Sheen, but like in terms of like different characters, yeah. I mean, it's less exciting than like Defenders or Fantastic Four or something, obviously. But I'm pretty excited for it. I think what we've seen so far, like sneaking around and preparations, they're doing the theme of S.H.I.E.L.D really well within that. So I'm excited. These scenarios look really. I will spoil. I think all of these look really unique, so you've got a lot to look forward to, and I'm excited for this. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, I think that the biggest piece of kind of reveal at Gen Con when they talked about S.H.I.E.L.D, they also talked about this with Arkham. So if we have Arkham fans on this stream, that it is far from over. That they have so much content planned that this is not coming down. And so the fact that we are getting S.H.I.E.L.D means that we're getting more content later. And so at this point, it's like, okay, maybe I personally am very excited about S.H.I.E.L.D. I think that it's a really interesting, I love spies. Like that's just, I love that kind of stuff. And so I'm really happy for it. Is it Avengers? No, it's not. That being said, that doesn't mean that we're not, that this is just meaning that we're getting more content. And so it's not taking the place of anything. And so I'm really happy with S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, they don't have to rush into big names. Yeah. Boom guy. There you go. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show is one of your daughter's favorite. Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. sounds meh, but this box seems really fun. I said it before. I said it before Nelson. I don't think Champions is going away. It's just kind of a boring theme for me. And yeah, and that. But hopefully we'll get like Fantastic Four next. But okay, we got Modok, another A villain. That's kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
Yep, it's I gotta let you read it, but I'm intrigued by this one. I think this one's really. I keep saying it, but I like what I see. So let's get into it. I think.
Yeah. I do like that we have the periods in between every single letter.
Yeah.
That saves us from an errata later down the line.
Yeah, that in the core set, the minion version, the lack of those, the little dots just really ruined my immersion.
Do you okay? But straight up, do you think that that's why they made that errata? Like they knew Modok was coming, and so this, without a doubt, means that they cannot be on the table at the same time. Like you can't play Doomsday Chair and put Modok. They errated it to have the periods, knowing that this villain was coming, so that they didn't have to answer or they didn't have to worry about that issue.
That's so funny. I mean, maybe I think they errated it quite a while ago,
Yeah.
but they errated like something else as part of the modular set again, I think. And that's really interesting because what if you put like the Doomsday Share modular in the scenario? How would that work? That could be really interesting. I don't think it would work really at all, to be honest, but I want to make it work.
Yeah, right. So after AIM Embassy, your next destination is AIM Island itself, the stronghold of the AIM organization. You finally managed to find missing Sarah Garza, along with several other inhuman captives that have been locked away. Unfortunately, you also run into Modok. Okay, Modok is another 2-scheme, 1 attack, 10 hit points. So of the first 3 villains, and we've seen stage 1 and then stage A and A, so the standard kind of start of the villains, we're looking at what, 30 health across 3 villains? Very low health pools.
Yeah. I think, the second one and third one, it's not just, defeat that 10 and then win.
Sure.
But it is interesting how, the values are. They're very different.
Mm-hmm. It feels like this box is kind of prioritizing things other than damage, which makes a lot of sense from a shield spy perspective.
I think it's really, leaning into the spy thing, which I'm very excited about. You know what? I think this, in some ways, the villains here remind me a lot more of like the Mojo Mania scenarios than regular expansion box scenarios.
Tony's at it again. Good stuff. I love it. So Modok, 2-scheme, 1 attack, 10 health, retaliate 1. Glad it's not 2 at least. So yep. he's easier than his minion counterpart. When Modok would be defeated, if Holding Cell is in play, remove 2 lock counters from it and reset Modok's hit points to 10 instead. Otherwise, the players win the game. Okay, so we'll take a look at Holding Cell, but before we do that, I do want to take a look. This character, I want to know if there's a better character for Rogues Touched than this villain right here. Ariel? Psionic? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and you're touching Modok, so you get the retaliate as well. So you've got 2 things triggering your events. You've got all the keywords for all the events and things in the game, basically. So good.
Yeah. I mean, now you can run Dive Bomb, you can run Psychic Assault, you can run in the same kit. Oh, that's really cool.
Yep, and Bulletproof Bell is still online all the time.
Yeah. You don't have to make any decisions on what you're putting touch. That's really cool. Chat. But who wants to touch Modok? That's fair. That is fair. He is really creepy. Yeah. There will be Retaliate 2 on the B side, calling it now, says Leroy.
Ooh.
Yes.
I can see it.
Civilians is new Voltron ally. Modok's hair looks like a samurai hat. It really does.
I won't be able to unsee that now.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So let's look at the holding cell. So if we defeat Modok, we get to remove lock counters from the holding cell, which enters play with 2 lock counters on it. When the last lock counter is removed from here, flip this card and put Sarah into play under any player's control. Spend a wild resource or 3 resources of any type to remove 1 lock counter from here. Interesting.
Wild's good. Domino, pick locks.
Yeah, Domino knows how to pick some locks. But also, so it sounds like Modok, you get to remove 2 lock counters when you defeat him, which is 10 health, which also does not scale with players. So 10 health, remove the locks. And then you have Sarah, who is the flip side of Holding Cell, who is a Inhuman Rescued Shield 225. Sarah's got some stuff going on. She's also shooting like pillars of flames from her hand. That's intense. Does not count against your ally limit. She gains overkill and ranged. Yeah. Okay. No. Who said it? Murzak, yes, 100%. Let's Voltron this thing.
Yeah, this one is crazy for that.
And then after this card leaves play, flip it and place it at the bottom of the holding cell deck. Okay, I missed the holding cell deck.
I don't think it's talked about that in great detail, but my understanding is there are like different captives along with her you're going to rescue. So I think if she gets like defeated, maybe she gets captured again, you have to like rescue her again, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it sounds like Jared is talking about in the chat. It sounds like there are going to be a deck of holding cells, which makes me think Spiral, right? Like where you're going through those side schemes, you're trying to find the correct one. You're trying to find Sarah, so you're going through different holding cells, which makes it a little bit more sense, I think, why it's so easy to pick those locks to get
Yeah.
Sarah. I like it. I'm curious what's in the other ones.
Oh, I don't think they show that here, but yeah, I think it does say there are like multiple people to rescue, so hopefully they are friendly. It'd be funny if you're like over to holding cell and something attacked you.
Yeah, yeah. If it's not just one holding cell, that does make a lot more sense. I agree with you there, Heroic. So Sarah. Okay, so I wonder how many there are, but if they all don't count towards your ally limit, I'm just thinking like shrink the numbers for 10, like that. Like,
Yeah,
I
why
wanna
not?
see- I feel like that would be a fun challenge. Let's see how many allies we can actually get onto this table.
Yeah, I'm curious how it works as well. It was presumably, it's not like the first player takes control or anything. So yeah, you could totally do that.
None too pleased about disrupting his plans to use Inhumans as genetic templates for his synthetic adaptoids. Similar to previous scenarios, your primary goal here is to rescue, though how you go about it is very different. You'll need to free Sarah and other captive Inhumans. Okay,
they
so
did show one.
Yeah. Okay, so that looks like somebody.
I don't know who it is, but I like them.
Yeah.
They're good.
This is the flying Inhuman. So 2 thwarts, 1 attack does not count against. And okay, so yeah, we're gonna do some stupid strength and number stuff. I'm happy. After this hero thwarts, remove 1 threat from another scheme. That's a banger ability.
Oh yeah.
Insane.
Free threat removal, 5 health. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. And all it costs is 3 resources or 1 wild resource.
I think you'd
2.
have to be 2 wilds or
2.
6 resources if I read.
Yeah.
There's 2 lot counters per person, something like that.
Or 10 damage to take out Modok, right? Like,
yeah.
This is true solo. Yeah.
Yeah. Knock him out, take his keys.
And after this card leaves play, flip it back and put it on the bottom of the holding cell deck. So it sounds like you can chump with them if you need to put him back. But I mean, Modok's attacking for 1, not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Heroic. So it seems like there's probably 3 or 4 holding cells with different allies on the back. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really, really cool. So flying Inhuman, 2 thwart. That's really good. From their holding cells, before you take Modok down, of course, you'll have to contend with the Adaptoids. What does the Adaptoid do?
That is a great question. So the Adaptoid is 1 scheme, 1 attack, 5 health. A little bit like the AIM person we saw in the Black Widow scenario, but this one's a little bit different because it checks the Adaptoid environments for modifiers, and it does show us one of these, so we can look at that in a second. And I don't quite know how they all work, so curious for chat's opinion. But it says when defeated, remove 1 all-purpose counter from an environment. I don't know what that does. Maybe
is an all-purpose counter just like a catch-all term for any type of counter on an environment?
it's the generic, the ones that in the printed like blue and green. That's an all-purpose counter. That's the official name. The generic ones that you use for like energy barrier or anything. Reading this, I'm thinking I should have taken my time when I first looked at this. I'm guessing there's going to be some mechanic that says when counters are removed, maybe remove the environment or something like that, because that'd be a way to interact. Something like that's interesting. The boost effect puts it back into the encounter deck, so double boost icons, and it's going to be coming around again, which is kind of scary.
That is really annoying. It feels like Zola at that point. It's like,
yes.
No, don't leave it. So thematically, can someone help me, or Villain? Do you know, are adaptoids experiments from the captured Inhumans? Because it makes sense because they have like the same health. They kind of feel like they have the same kind of vibe as some of those allies.
I think it says it somewhere in the description bit that basically Modok's using the Inhumans to make the Adaptoids, or give them abilities. So they're, I guess that's how they're adapting. They're taking the Inhuman stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting. Heroic, are there currently any mod sets with environments that have counters? I don't think so. The only thing that I can think of, which isn't a mod set, would be Magog.
Yeah, I don't think any environments do have counters on off the top of my head. There's a side
Cool.
scheme for infinites.
Yeah, and then you did say that there was an adaptoid environment. So is that the flying upgrade?
Yep.
Alrighty, tell me about this one.
Well, this is an environment, and it says each Adaptoid gets +1 scheme, Insight 1, and gains the aerial trait. So now they're flying, and it's actually the guy from the art of the flying inhuman. It's just that's pretty fun. So the best part about this card, in my opinion, is the flavor text, which I would like you to read, Nelson.
They fly now? They fly now. Maria Hill. I did not realize that Maria Hill and Nick Fury were in Star Wars. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, now they are.
Whenever I see that, like, that just reminds me of Finn. I think that's in episode 9. 9 makes sense.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
They fly now? It's like, dude, they've been flying for generations, man. Like,
they got spaceships too.
They got space. Yeah. Okay, so +1 scheme, Insight 1, and the aerial trait. Interesting, but that makes sense because the flying guy was the scheme. I assume we're going to see something similar for damage and
yeah, probably
all that good stuff. It's Star Trek, Nelson. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
What is interesting is the it says on the Adaptoid remove a counter or something from an environment, but this doesn't say to put counters on it. So maybe there's like something on the main scheme or something set aside at the start that they haven't shown that tells us to put counters on, and then removing them does good things.
Yeah, and I think also holding cell, like we can just remove from holding cell because that.
Oh, that's the environment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was really trying to figure out part of the text that they write on here is, don't let too many environments come in and power up the Adaptoids. And I'm like, how do I remove the environments? It hasn't told me. That's what I'm hunting for. Okay, that makes more sense.
It also may seem that there isn't a way to get rid of them.
Yeah,
which would be kind of cool. That I would actually be pretty down for there not being a way to remove the environments.
I mean, yeah, that's also an option, but I would like to if I could.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. From a mechanic standpoint, from a thematic standpoint, the longer they go on, the Adaptoids are starting to get stronger, and you don't want to push this into the long game because now they're all going to have 6 scheme, Insight 4, and Retaliate 2, right? Like that could be kind of interesting.
That's kind of very much Tony design in terms of Mojo Mania wants you to move through those scenarios pretty quick.
Yeah, that Insight 1 can be a killer. Oof. Yeah, 100%. The upgrades that Modok can give himself, but we'll have to show those off some other time.
What a tease.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Modok seems really cool. So far through the first 3, and it does sound like from chat, we're only going to get 4 villains that we're going to check out this in this article.
Yeah. They're really stingy with what they're showing off, but I do like what they're showing off, so I'll allow it, but I want to see more.
Yeah, which I think probably means we're going to get more frequent articles. It's kind of what this is kind of setting me up to believe, right? We'll show those off some other time. We'll talk about the heroes another time, that kind of stuff.
It's disappointing for me having expected a lot here, but I think it's a good thing for like the health of things. So they have, they're going to do another big reveal article. There's going to be more stuff shown off, and I think that's good. Not to just drop it all at once. So I think it's a good move, but I want to see more. Where is it?
Yeah, so really cool. I'm also pumped to see the B-side of Modok, which sounds like a record now. Modok's B-side.
Yeah, I hope the songs are good.
A thundering conspiracy, and now we have a multi-villain. I thought, oh my gosh, I really straight thought that we were going to not have, because all of them are kind of wonky, and like I kind of think of like one wonky or one multi-villain, but it looks like we're gonna have another one, so that's pretty exciting.
This is exciting. So you might notice if you look at the pictures, most of these are not villains because they got the minion little tag, but they are basically villains.
Yeah, 16 health is 18 health for Radioactive Man. Boo. Those are minions. Oh, those are minions. Dang. Man,
But they are. I
they're
would say I
big.
think they function a lot like villains. I think.
Interesting. Okay.
So we'll see as you read through it. But it's I'm
Yeah.
excited. These are scary as minions.
Yeah. So Citizen V is the villain here. So
Can
that's
chat help
villain.
me? I didn't know if this was Citizen 5 or Citizen V.
Yeah. What chat is this? Citizen V5?
Is it like a numeral or is it a letter?
5. Okay, chat says 5. Multi-villain, but they can
Okay.
finally have more than one villain activate at once. Ah! Villain's gone! No! Oh no. Okay, that was actually my fault, so I apologize. But we're back. Yeah, so it does sound like it's either Citizen 5 or V. Heroic.
It's one
Okay,
of those.
yeah. Heroic is like, "Oh, it's 5. Peace out. I got what I needed from this." Nice. Okay, so those are mean minions. I also like, hey, who said it? Uh Oh, Brian Nelson. Why stun or confuse a minion when you can just kill him? That's fair. I needed that. That one's on me. While technically not a multi-villain scenario, okay, Nelson, read the card. The Thunderbolts absolutely take you on as a team. During setup, you choose a number of Thunderbolt-themed modular encounter sets equal to your player count plus 1. Okay, so it looks like these are from different encounter sets. So I assume each one of them has one of the big minions.
Yes, yeah, that's basically how it works. It's exciting. I read more.
Okay. And each one of those encounter sets comes with an elite Thunderbolt minion that you have to contend with before you can take on Citizen V5 himself. Not only does the main scheme give each Thunderbolt minion guard, but Citizen V5 himself also can't be defeated until you get enough of his cronies into the victory display. Oh, that's so mean. I love it.
It's like prelates is kind of what I'm thinking here.
Yeah. Okay. And those are big minions. Holy cow.
But you've got more health than the first scenario full villain.
Yeah. We have not talked about the possible heroes yet. Interesting. Okay, and then the scaling is the number of these that you're going to have to fight before you can take on Citizen 5.
Almost
He will
certainly.
forever be known as Citizen V5. That's cool. I like it. I like that the health does not scale, so that when you're playing more players, you're just getting a higher variety of. I'm gonna call them villains. They're villains.
Mini villains.
Mini villains. There you go. Oh my gosh, dude, that's intense. Okay, so I assume we're going to get. It doesn't actually look like we get any of these previewed. So let's look at Radioactive Man. Villainous, Victory 1, 1-2. After Radioactive Man activates against you, deal 1 damage to each character you control. God, I hate it.
He does not like allies.
No, he doesn't. He does not like allies.
It's not even after he attacks either. It's when he activates. So if he schemes, all your allies are going to suffer anyway.
Yeah. Interesting. And then we have Mach IV or 4. And that really makes me think it's Citizen 5. If you have Mach IV.
It's confusing, isn't it?
Villainous Victory 1. Each character without the aerial trait cannot make basic defense against his attacks.
Yeah, so that's scary too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So if you want a jump block, you need flying jump blockers.
Yeah. Status. It doesn't look like there's anything that's going to prevent me from stunning here.
I want you to look at their boost icons too.
Gross. No. 4? Ooh.
My guess is in the scenario, they won't be boost cards, but they have boost icons on them.
Yeah, my guess is that they're going to come into play and you're going to have to deal with them.
But like
that being
yeah.
That being said, they're both going to activate. Citizen V5 is going to activate first, and then because they are minions, they will activate during the minion step.
It looks that way, which is brutal if there's no mitigating factor, and they haven't shown a mitigating factor.
Yeah. And I'm like, from a scenario number 4, I'm pretty happy with that level of difficulty. It's going to require you to
Hmm.
deck build differently. It's going to be, you
I'm
know, kind of different.
I'm gonna maybe shut that down. I'm doing some investigating. I'm
Okay.
squinting at Citizen 5, Citizen V, Citizen the Citizen guy. There's
Yeah.
a forced interrupt we can't fully read, but one of the lines says a Thunderbolt something something activate. I wonder if that means if there's an elite Thunderbolt minion out, that activates instead. Is what I'm wondering.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down for that. I wonder how Citizen V5's B side, if that modifies it at all or anything like that.
Ooh, that's an interesting idea.
That's intense though. That is straight intense. I like it. I do see David, if they can be boost cards, Gambit ally just got super happy.
Oh yeah. We need to keep reading. There's really
Okay.
exciting stuff here.
Okay. Before we keep reading, we did skip over apprehend rogue agents, which is our main scheme.
Yeah.
Threats out at 11. This is 1B. If the stage is completed, players lose the game. So it does look like it's a one-stage main. Each Thunderbolt minion gains guard. After a player attacks a Thunderbolt minion, that minion engages that player. Okay, makes sense. This stage is completed. The players lose the game. Okay. It sounds like this is not a huge. The game is in the big minions. It's not really kind of a main scheme. That one's not as involved because they want you to focus on these minions. I think that
Yeah.
these minions are mods, so you can put them in any scenario. Oh, that's true.
That's what's exciting.
Ha!
That's
So
when they will come out and use the full boost icons.
brutal. The rest of the Thunderbolts may technically be minions, but they hit hard and italicized. They are sturdy enough to practically be full-fledged villain. Every single one of these minions has more health than every villain in this in this article. So yeah, they can be minions. Each of them has the villainous keyword as well as hit points in the double digits. The Thunderbolt backup environment lets them rotate out to. Oh, I don't like that sentence. Thunderbolt backup environment. The minion attached here is in play and can be targeted by attacks and abilities and can be. Okay. When the round ends, attach the Thunderbolt minion with the most damage here, swapping it with the minion already attached here, if any. Heal 1 damage per player from the attached minion, and expert heal an additional. And give that minion a tough status card. Yeah, expert seems pretty tough.
Yep, it's a big step up. Like, oh, 1 health. No, how about 2 health and a tough card? You know, in 4 player, that's 8 health. It's kind of a lot.
Yeah, Jared, that card is disgusting. I agree with you. Jared. That's brutal. And so it sounds like in a solo game, you're going to be taking on 2 of these minions. Is that kind of how it feels?
Yeah, probably.
And they do have victories, so once you do take them out, they're not going to be shuffled back into the encounter deck, which is nice.
That is a good thing for like using those normal modulars, especially. I think.
Yeah. The Thunderbolt scenario is great turning point in the narrative of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's also one of the most replayable scenarios in the game. I would agree with that, just from what we have seen, because you're going to be mix and matching.
Wait for it.
Oh, yay! Okay, this box comes with 6 different modular sets featuring Thunderbolts that you can use for this scenario as well as other scenarios, but they are still modular encounter sets after all. The future of Marvel Champions products may come with more mod sets that can also be slotted in. Any modular set that features an elite Thunderbolt minion can qualify for this scenario, showing all sorts of customization and ensuring that no 2 face-offs. So we're getting more Thunderbolt minions.
It sounds like they're going to patch in more variety into this.
Yeah.
My guess is it's going to be in the hero packs.
That's sick. That's really, really cool. That's a good tease. That's a really clever way to tease that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's really cool. I'm going to come back and play this. This also feels like a really good deck testing scenario.
Yeah.
Because
it's very
it's
like
throw
on the
a
run
lot
kind of
at
thing.
you. Yeah. Last thing, Songbird has a 0/0. I don't know if I'm gonna like whatever happens.
I can see on there it says Songbird something boost. So maybe she's Claw. Maybe it's double boost.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Wait, is something
Yep,
about to use like sonic energy and stuff? Because Claw is all about sonic, right? You know, she's song, sound. That
that
could
would
be a
make
really cool
sense.
through line. Wow.
Yeah, one villain and two even worse villains. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's cool. I love Fantasy Flight is like Thunderbolts will return at the end of a Marvel movie. That's good. By now, you may be wondering who the villain is for the fifth and final scenario of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Unfortunately, that information has been redacted. You will just have to wait and see who it will be. Chat, villain, what are the thoughts here? I don't know. I don't know anything about S.H.I.E.L.D.
If it's Age of Apocalypse level reveal, it's just gonna be the same villain again.
It's Thunderbolts again.
Someone in the chat did earlier say it might be Thunderbolts again. Leroy J Jenkins suggested Baron Zemo, which is a better guess than anything I had. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
throw that out there and I don't know.
Oh, we got a lot of Zemos. Boom Guy says Bucky. That would be
Bucky would be
interesting. Bucky
yeah,
would be
Winter
really
Soldier.
cool. Yeah. Leroy says that the hidden identity of Citizen V5 is Baron. So that would make a lot
Oh,
of sense that it would be Baron at that point. Baron Zemo
yeah.
doesn't deserve a villain spot. Zemo, as he was Citizen V5. Or the OG Nick Fury is what Chad says.
I'm
Cool.
not quite sure.
That's cool. Okay, so those are the villain. It does look like we get a little. Okay, so sorry, my mind is all over the place. I get excited when there's new content of Marvel Champions. I don't know if anyone could tell. When we first initially talked about this article and it said that we weren't going to be getting anything for the heroes, I was like, oh, it's going to be a shorter article. No, they're actually digging pretty deep into a lot of these scenarios and the campaign. There's a lot to chew on.
It's interesting that I don't think they're showing like that many individual cards, but the cards they are showing are like incredibly meaningful and interesting. And I love it. I'm just gonna say I'm a big fan of all four of these so far. My big criticism for Next Evolution, which I love as a box, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of mandatory like allies. We have seen mandatory allies in 2 scenarios here, but they look really interesting scenarios, like the stealth one, the rescue people one. So I am still extremely excited for those.
Yeah, 100%. Boom Guy does say Bucky because it's all about a mole on the inside of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Wow.
which would point to Bucky. Interesting.
I'm gonna spoil it as well. Like the next thing in this article is the campaign mechanics, and I'm excited for those. And I think we should look at
Okay.
those soon.
That's really exciting. Yeah, we'll definitely look at those. But that's really exciting because I was not a big fan of the next not a what's the newest box?
Age of Apocalypse.
Age of
I wanted to
Apocalypse.
say, yeah. I wanted to say, I'm generally not a campaign person at all, and I definitely was not a fan of the Age of Apocalypse campaign. This is really interesting. I'm excited for you to see it.
Sick. Okay. Exposing the mole. While we cannot share who the final villain is, we can share an important element of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. campaign leading up to that scenario, finding the traitor. As we've mentioned, there's a mole in S.H.I.E.L.D. executive board, and it's your job to expose them. To do that, you'll have to utilize evidence cards that you'll collect over the course of the campaign. Okay.
Yeah,
That feels very like board game.
yeah, it does.
Like, yeah. Over the course of the campaign, which represents the means, motive, and opportunity. Oh, we're playing Clue. If the mole has to sabotage your efforts. At the beginning of the campaign, one card from each category is secretly tucked in. Oh, that's cool.
It's so cool.
Secretly tucked into a special AIM envelope, and the combination of symbols those cards have will reveal the identity of the traitor. You'll have to use your powers of deduction to expose the mole when the time is right, but you must tread carefully. If you alienate the board before you have a chance to present your case, it'll only make your life harder. I like it.
So good. It's like
That's
it seems like it's gonna be a different person every time, and you're trying to figure out who it is, and it's hidden, and so good. I love it.
Yes. No, that's okay. That's really, really interesting. It's very gamified. It looks like Boom Guy, giving Pandemic Legacy type vibes where you're going to go in, you're trying to find all of these, but it does sound like if you make that assertion earlier and it's wrong, you've turned a executive board member against you, and maybe you're
Yeah.
not going to. Oh, that's cool.
It reminds me of in the Winter Soldier movie, the Shield board are very unhappy, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have these. Okay, so these are the board. Each member of the executive board is represented by their own double-sided card, which always which are always present during the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. campaign. Certain scenarios or campaign effects can add secret counters to a board member, representing the subtle manipulations of both AIM and the traitor as they try and turn the board against you. If too many secret counters accumulate on a single board member, their card flips over to the attachment side, which will become a permanent buff for the villain. Oh. For example, Chief Tactical Officer, which is this one here, for word to gain 4 secret counters, would become an attachment. Okay. So cool. So
Ooh,
you are putting.
Mm.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? No, sorry.
I'll let you talk about this bit, but I just realized something that I need to say afterwards.
Okay. No, I'm just I guess my main question was, are all of these in play every single game, or do you choose one of them?
It says which are always present, so I guess they're always present.
Interesting. Okay, what were you saying?
We looked at that card that I was confused about the wording about that all-purpose counter removed from an environment. These are environments that are going to be present. So that's a really cool kind of thing. So it works within the scenario to let you unlock the holding cells, but it works in the campaign. So that's such elegant design. I think that's so cool.
Really good. Yes, amazing. Okay, so the Chief Tactical Officer, let's take a look at her. There are 4 more secret counters here, 3 or more in expert mode. Oh, brutal. Flip the card. As a hero action, we can spend 2 punch resources to remove 1 secret counter, then deal 2 damage to an enemy. Okay, makes sense. From it's tag team, right?
Basically.
Like she's the tactical officer in charge of tag team. That's why you can deal the damage. That makes sense.
Oh, that's gonna make sense to all of these.
Yeah, yeah. And then if she does get 4 or 3 in expert mode, she's going to flip, attach to the villain. After a secret counter is placed here, deal 2 damage to a friendly character. If there are 3 board member attachments in play, the players lose the game. Okay.
If you annoy them too much, they will betray you. That's
interesting.
funny.
Okay, I like it, and it also gives the +1 attack. That's cool.
Yeah. What are we going to get then? +1 scheme from the chief surveillance one. If that turns against you, then what would the medical officer be on? Maybe like +2 hit points per player, or I don't know. That's a random number.
See that. I could see
That's
that. I could see increasing health. And each one of these are 4 or more, 3 or more, and then lightning, and then mental. They do kind of correspond with the different teams. So there's not a command team.
It might be one they haven't shown.
Yeah. Which I would assume that there would be.
Maybe spend 1 wild resource and it does something, like ready up an ally or ready up a character.
Sick. I love it. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. I assume. So this is removing 2 threat from the scheme. Heal 1 damage from a friendly character, which is really, really important that it can be an ally. Oof.
Yeah.
What if a medical officer gave him a saber-tooth heal? Oh no.
No.
Please no. Make it stop.
Never accuse the medical officer if that's true. Be nice to your healers.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's awesome. I'm really happy, and this is actually 3 of 6, 1 of 6. So there's 3 cards that we're not seeing.
I wonder if they're all members of the executive board, or if they're just parts of that set.
That's interesting.
Does that mean I could include these as a normal modular set because it doesn't have the campaign wording? I don't think so. But maybe it's got setup actually. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it could be. And then if the other 3 cards deal with like place 2 counters on the chief tactical officer, spend X resources to not do or something like that. Or they could all have like their own side scheme.
Yeah.
Interesting. There are probably encounter cards that add secret counters. VillainTheory goes right to asking if you include it in every single.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
They barely showed any modular sets in this whole thing, except for like the Thunderbolts ones. But like they didn't show them for the earlier scenarios. So I want to know. I love modular sets.
Yeah, they've shown some of the most brutal mod sets we've ever seen in this game. Oof.
And it's not enough for me. I want setup keyword.
This is really cool. I'm very excited to see how this gets implemented into. I'm excited to play Clue with my champions.
That it's gonna be like a different one every time, unless you like get the same one again. But like, it's the replayability even here is kind of built in. It's not the same campaign every time. It's somebody different. I love it.
It's amazing.
I want it.
Absolutely amazing. I'm so pumped for this, and I think that we did see down at the bottom as well as chat. This is a February release. It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
right?
That is
So
super exciting.
5 months, 4 months. It's considering it's 920. It's 926 already. Ah, jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's coming quick, and it's releasing something in February makes me a little bit more optimistic that we're gonna see closer to the regular cadence of releases of Marvel
Yeah.
Champions.
Yeah, hopefully we will. I think they've said something. Actually, Boom Guys in the chat, he did a really good podcast with Tony, and I think they said they wanted to get it back on the faster track. So I'm pretty sure that will be happening.
Boom Guy says that we should have the box and 2 heroes before Kana heroes. That's cool.
That's exciting. If I could get over that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Hopefully this releases in February in the UK as well.
Seconded. Yes, I want you. Yeah, you need to get the product when we do. Yes, I'm on team that.
That sounds good. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, I'm pumped. We do have a little bit of a teaser here. It is confirmed that we are getting Maria Hill and Nicholas Fury as the 2 box heroes.
Yeah. The teaser here is good.
The teaser here is good. Okay.
Yes.
I really like the artwork here. I think that both the artwork on Maria and Nick look really good.
Yeah.
It's
just presumably their hero card art.
Yeah.
Maria especially, I think that's like really quite a striking like command pose.
Yep. And it does say that Maria comes with a pre-built leadership deck, which I was kind of expecting Nick to be the leadership character.
Me too. I absolutely was, but I kind of like how they flipped it up.
Yeah, and then Nick is that pre-built Justice deck, which makes just a ton of sense for Justice leadership to be the 2 in the box. Alongside a specialized stealth unit that lets him pull off some impressive stunts.
Yeah, like the specialized stealth suit to me sounds like you got Nick Fury and he's got the Justice deck alongside a specialized stealth suit. So is his stealth suit, or is it something you can put anywhere? Is it part of the Justice precon, or is it maybe like something more basic you could do? I don't know, but it sounds super, super intriguing that they've made a big point about that. That sounds like a big draw of the box to me.
Yeah. So when you read that, are you thinking that? Are you reading that as like a symbiote suit type thing, where it's an attachment that completely changes up a hero?
Yeah, that's what it suggests to me, because it says Nick Fury and he's coming with Justice and the suit. It doesn't sound like that's how I read it. Maybe it's a bit optimistic, but I'm hopeful that maybe it unlocks like maybe more of an alter ego playstyle or something for people. I don't know. But that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, Leroy and Heroic are saying it sounds like it's part of their signature kit. Leroy saying maybe it's like an invocation deck type thing. Where
they would have said that before the Justice thing, right? Sorry to cut you off. Don't crush my dreams. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, you're While neither of these heroes possess any flashy superpowers, that certainly doesn't make them any less potent as protectors of the Earth. Of course, with every Marvel Champions campaign, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. heralds the beginning of a new wave of hero packs. So we're going to get a silhouette, but before we go to the silhouette, let's talk about what you think these characters may be doing. So we have Maria, who her ally form, one of the best cards in the game, draw cards. You think we're going to get some sort of parallel for this hero?
I can either see with both these characters them really embracing what they do as allies or completely ignoring it. There'll be no middle ground. There'll be no like subtle nod. I mean, lots of characters draw a card, so I don't think that's too special. But I could see something. Maybe it could have like a cost per person that draws a card per person at the table, or one for everyone. That could be fun. What I'm intrigued by is it says, the leadership thing, something about, her playstyle revolves around her unique position as the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. So maybe she's more about directing allies than doing anything herself, is what that makes me think of, something like that. So that's kind of what I'm hopeful of there. Some unique way to direct allies, and maybe I would especially love it if it was good in all the aspects, not just leadership. But we'll see. We'll see what that means.
So that sentence makes me think of the teams: surveillance, TAC, command, medical team. What if she could be the multi-aspect? You can take teams from any aspect.
Yeah,
and maybe
it's like S.H.I.E.L.D. supports from any aspect, or
yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. supports from any aspect makes a lot of sense.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, just from an ally perspective, it makes me think that maybe what Agent 13 could be doing, like the S.H.I.E.L.D. support. Now that I'm saying it out loud, and I'm talking through it, but like her directing S.H.I.E.L.D. makes me think of some sort of interaction with those teams, and we saw that with Monica and Justice being able to pull them out. So it would be really cool to see some more play with those, because I think that a lot of those are underutilized, and rightfully so. I don't think that they're the best bang for your buck in the game. So it'd be really
Yeah.
cool to see some like life being breathed back into those, and maybe even potentially some more teams.
I'm gonna say maybe, yeah. What I like is that the campaign is actually just teased these, tactical officers and things that match the team cards. So they're almost certainly gonna come with the team cards, right? That's like clearly in the designer's mind. I'm gonna, I'm now, analyzing them. I'm sat them down in the chair. I'm asking, I'm seeing what's going on in their mind. That's what it suggests to me. Definitely, that could be really interesting. Maybe that could
Yeah.
be like a basic team could be a new one.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and I dream of the pool shield team. You never know. They won't do it. You never
I
know.
oh my goodness. I hope they lean into the deck or encounter deck manipulation as a shield kind of thing. I would be down for that. I really enjoy
Yeah,
the encounter deck stuff.
me too.
Um, really cool. And then Nick, I'm hoping that we get some more weapon stuff. I'm ready for more weapons with shield kind of being the non superpower traded heroes. I could see them leaning more into the weapons or vehicles or something like that to kind of give them the power that they display in the comics.
I think they will. I'm going to say they've both got weapons in their art here, which is presumably their hero card art, but they are both wielding weapons. In fact, Nick has 2 pistols in the art of the box at the very top, and he's got a different weapon here, so he's got to have
Oh, okay.
some weapons, right? I can
Yeah.
put investigator on this.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Yes. Okay. That's really cool. I'd love for him to be a vehicle-based champ. We need one of those. I think it's coming. I think it's coming.
Ooh.
Very cool. So we have silhouettes. So I have no idea.
we need to do some reading here. As I will say, it says it has 4 hero packs featuring a mixture of shield members and a couple of surprises. So it sounds sinister motives to me.
Yes.
It's going to be probably 2 shield ones for sure, and then anything. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, so Inhuman. That would be my guess, right? Like there's those Inhuman like captives that we've seen in the campaign. I could see them leaning more into that.
It makes sense. It's interesting that we got a couple of champions in Sinister Motives now. We maybe get a couple of Inhumans. And does the Miss Marvel character have the Inhuman trait in this game?
Yes.
The hero, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
cool. She's getting a lot of love from these midway between trilogy expansion boxes.
Oh yeah.
Someone on Discord did send me a message that they think the right-hand one might be Bucky, Winter Soldier, because apparently they have a cat.
Okay.
So maybe that's one. So I don't know.
Shuri
they have
is
a cat.
the first one. I 100%
Ooh.
see Shuri here. Yeah, I
Shuri
believe.
is-
Who said that? Yeah, Daniel.
Wakanda support finally.
Yeah, yeah. But like Shuri in the MCU at least, I'm not 100% familiar with the comics, but Bucky and Shuri kind of work together when Bucky's hanging out in
Really?
Wakanda.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And so like I could see that coming in. I could see a Wakanda, Inhuman, and 2 Shield as well.
Yeah, that's so interesting. So someone in chat, Garismo, says third one has to be Sam Wilson, Captain America. I think that makes sense as well, potentially.
Yep.
That could be Sam, definitely. He's a very short hair. The silhouette would fit. Maybe
Yep.
it's like a hoodie or something I can see around the top, which I know he wears in the MCU.
And I could see either right here, where it's cut off in the image, hit the shield. I could see them intentionally cutting the shield off.
Oh, yeah. But these are also the alter egos, I think. That's what they did with the
yes.
Age of Apocalypse silhouettes. But he could still have the shield around. What is the second one? Any guesses in the chat for the second one? That is the one that is now the big mystery to me. I'm so excited if that's, Sam, Bucky, and Shuri. That's going to be such a good lineup.
That would be amazing. White Widow as the last one.
Ooh.
I think I like if Bucky has a cat, right? I think
That's what I've
putting the
heard.
cat right here. I think putting the cat right here is a really good like nod to having Bucky, especially for the silhouettes. Bucky and
Winter Soldier
Sam.
second, people are saying?
Winter Soldier. This is Winter Soldier. I think of Winter Soldier's. I could see it. The hair.
Yeah.
Black Cat is 4th. Black Cat. Interesting.
Black Cat's such a random one. Does she have association with S.H.I.E.L.D. or any of these characters?
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so it looks like Chad is seeing Winter Soldier as 2nd.
Could be. Yeah. I have no idea. I just want Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Give me 2 Winter Soldiers.
Because Winter Soldier would be a weapons focused.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So 4 hero packs, mixture of shield members, and a couple of surprises. So what that means to me is that we're getting 2 shield and 2 non-shield. That's how I read that.
Mm. Yeah, I think it'll be a Sinister Motives thing. You know, 2 Web Warriors and then 2 something else. It just feels that way. So, are these all Avengers? Because, or they go, we're gonna have the Shield trait. Like, what is gonna happen here? Because this could be a lot of Avenger support potentially. I'm thinking.
What about both? I mean, like you could have
Yeah.
Sam have both traits. You could have
Well,
Bucky have both traits.
Captain America and Captain Marvel have both traits, but one is Alter Ego, one is Hero form. They could just do that
Mm,
again potentially.
that's interesting.
Is
That's
Shuri going to be
interesting.
presumably another Black Panther? Like the
I could see that. Yeah, if Shuri is Black Panther.
because we've got 2 Spider-Men in the game. This could be them doing that again in this wave, like they did in the Sinister Motors wave. I don't know. I think that's really cool.
That is cool. Marvin is saying that it doesn't look like that left hand of Bucky or the second hand silhouette would be the metal arm. Is it the right or left hand that's Bucky?
I think it's left. Look at the 4th silhouette. If that is him, maybe he just doesn't have the arm in Alter Ego. It's behind him and they're hiding it or something. You know, to
Yeah.
trick us. That sounds like something they would do.
Yeah. Quake. I would like. I think like I would want one of these to be Agent 13. I could see this one maybe, but I don't see an Agent 13 in this silhouette. If I squint hard and believe, I could see it being Agent 13, but I don't know.
I'm sorry to Agent 13 believers, but I was never one of you. She would be cool though. I would like it, but yeah.
Yeah, but I am like pretty confident, and I'm locking in guesses. Shuri, Sam. I think I'm gonna have to dig a little bit deeper and see this cat for Bucky, but I could see Bucky.
Cat investigations.
It's really cool.
I'm gonna lock in those 3 as well. I think one of these is Bucky definitely. I'm gonna stick with it.
And I
They
think
can't do Sam without Bucky.
Yeah, true. They're gonna have a team up. Which would be kind of
Oh
cool.
yeah, maybe. Well, maybe it'll come with a team up with both of them for Captain America. Could there be a 3-person team up for a 3-player? I live in hope.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. And then we've got Mockingbird, number 2. I could see Mockingbird there.
Mockingbird would be a great one as well. Yeah.
That's really cool. No,
It's
Agent
interesting, though,
13.
it says-
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, it says featuring a mixture of Shield members and a couple of surprises. So, presumably, 2 of these will not have the Shield trait. So maybe would Winter Soldier or Sam not have Shield? Because if they both have Shield, it suggests the second one would not be Mockingbird, would not be a Shield character. That's what I'm reading into.
Mm-hmm. You could have Bucky not have Shield. Like depending on the time frame that the box takes place in, you could have Bucky not have a Shield.
The argument that he would is that I think the signature ally for Black Widow has a Shield trait, and that is him. So if they're going with the same kind of continuity, but maybe they aren't. I don't think that's a big deal. It could totally be anything.
Yeah, and we may be reading too much into that sentence and saying that I don't know. A couple of surprises makes me think that there's going to be 2 that aren't Shield.
Yeah, that is 100% what I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2 Shield, 2 non-Shield.
Mm.
Shuri, I don't know who else that could be. That looks Shuri to me.
Maybe it's an Inhuman.
Okay,
I don't know.
I like it. Yeah. Bring some of that Inhuman support. That would be cool if we get Wakanda and then Inhuman support, and then a little bit of Avengers and more Shield stuff with Bucky and Sam.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Maybe no. I was about to say, could it be Vivian? Could we get more champion stuff? But I don't think so.
Oh, very cool. I am pumped. This looks awesome. This looks really, really cool. What do you any last thoughts before we log off and celebrate about new box?
I am super excited for Thunderbolt modular sets, maybe more than the scenario, but the scenario looks great. But I love the modular sets. Super excited for a campaign that excites me because, I love Marvel Champions, but the campaigns have just never quite been the thing that really drives me to do it. But this, especially the replayability in like the Thunderbolt scenario, the replayability in the campaign, super, super good for, just playing it. Very, very few negatives, if none. Super, super excited. Well done, Tony. Show me more.
yeah. I'm pumped. It does sound like we are going to be getting more articles in the future. Relatively soon, I'm hoping, especially if this is coming out in February, right? 5 months from now, we're going to have this. That's pretty exciting.
5 months from now, you're going to have this.
I believe. New year, new Marvel Champions distribution model. I actually did look into it. I saw that there was some they switched up the European suppliers, and apparently like that was a little rough, but they're getting kind of the train back on track. So I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Let's cross our fingers that this no, you know what? Let's cross our fingers. Let's hope that Magneto is back on track and you get him on time.
Yeah, no, I was playing into it a little bit. I have heard Nightcrawler is going to be here maybe next week. Fingers crossed. So hopefully it's not a big delay if any. So yeah, really excited for this. It looks really good, and
Nice.
really enjoyed the article here.
Yeah. Well, thank you so very much, Villain Theory, for coming on. You posted a reaction as well, right?
I might do to be determined, because I think this is saying a lot of the same stuff, and I think it's really
Okay.
good. So
Okay.
maybe I'll do a deep dive or something on it now. Who knows? But
Well, I super appreciate you coming on. Super appreciate you coming on. If we can line it up, love to do it again. But thanks. I'm going to post Villain Theory's information down in the video description. And thank you all so very much for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. We'll see you around.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Bye. Now I have to
Bye.
find the ending screen. Ah!